Done.
Okay.
All right, guys. So as I mentioned earlier, I did a lot of reading over the last week. A lot of time by myself, a lot of time thinking. Wow, there's 50 people on this call. A lot of time in meditation, just turning off all of the noise, and read 4 books, took about 100 pages of notes, and journaled. And I just want to share something that really hit me hard, and maybe not in a good way, maybe in a good way. And one of the things that I want you to do as I'm sharing this with you is I want you to switch places with me. I want you to be the team leader. I want you to be the team leader who has an office, a market center at Keller Williams. We have our own vocabulary. It's a market center, not an office. I want you to be a team leader of a market center with over 300 agents that you love, you care for, and you want them to be massively successful. And the other thing I want you to do is I want you to ask yourself, as I'm sharing this with you, what if we were having a conversation with your children? What would that sound like? And I'm just going to share a couple thoughts from this little book called The Little Things by Andy Andrews. And he starts with a question. And here's the question. If you could choose, what kind of life would you live? If you could choose, what kind of life would you live? What would you do to create value for other people? Whom would you mentor? Who would mentor you? What would you discover or learn? How would your understanding change things for the rest of us? What would you leave for your children and grandchildren? I'm going to read the first question to you again. If you could choose, what kind of life would you live? You see, like most of us, you have been casually convinced, slowly conditioned to believe that you have no say in this matter. Now just hang in there with me, okay? I promise you we're going to get somewhere. This is going to take the entire half hour. You can take notes or you can just close your eyes and listen. The principle is little known, but heartbreakingly true. It is impossible for a person to outperform his or her acknowledged capability. Or stated another way, a person cannot achieve beyond what he or she really believes to be the truth about themselves. What a person really believes is so powerful that their belief actually controls their behavior. I'm going to hit mute all, guys, just because there's some background noise. But remember, take yourself off mute and talk to me because I feel alone when I do this. In fact, to correctly predict the level to which a person might achieve, one needs only to discover the truth about what that person believes. And this principle has nothing to do with whether what a person believes is actually true. It's simply about the connection between that person's limits and what he or she truly believes deep in their heart and mind. It doesn't actually matter if what you believe about yourself is true. Think about that for just a second, okay? Now, if you could choose. Now, I told you that it was okay just to close your eyes and listen. And if you're not taking notes, I at least want you to write those 4 words down. If you could choose. that seemingly innocent beginning of a game or lead into a conversation has subconsciously, secretly induced the vast majority of us into achieving far less than we might otherwise have accomplished. In plain English, forget about the fact that we have not experienced the best life has to offer. Forget about the fact that we have not experienced. Think about that, okay? Forget about the fact that we have not experienced the best life has to offer. Most of us have never even allowed ourselves to consider what the best might actually be. All that to say, the first 4 words in the chapter are a dirty, rotten lie. Because you can choose. If you can choose implies that you can't. Otherwise, why would you start the sentence with, if you could choose? You can choose. Now, if that's true, and it's true, keep listening. I want to ask you a personal question. Is that okay? Somebody nod their head. Somebody say yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Then I want you to take a deep breath and give me an honest answer. Do you believe in God?
Yes.
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 Yeah, me too. Do you believe in a God who is here now with you? A God of the universe who loves you and cares about you and wants the best for you.
Yes.
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 Yeah, me too. The second thing I want to ask you is a little odd, but here goes. Do you believe God has a better imagination than you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, me too. Then here's the last question, and it's a game changer. If you believe God wants the best for you, and you know that you obviously want the best for you, and you also believe God has a better imagination than you, then when we examine our life, the life we declare to be the best, if you're taking notes, capitalize the best. Then when we examine your life, the life you declare to be the best you can imagine, and we place it alongside your life that is the best God can imagine, is it possible these 2 lives might look entirely different?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Me too, guys. Me too. So you're switching places with me. You're a team leader. You have 300, 400, 500 agents that are a part of your team that you love, that you want the absolute best for. You know they can do it. You believe in them more than they believe in themselves. Have you ever laid out an opportunity with a possibility of great rewards for someone you loved, or perhaps more than one someone? There it is right there.
Could you repeat that sentence, please?
Have you ever laid out an opportunity with the possibility of great rewards for someone you loved, or perhaps more than someone. When you think about it, what have we been doing right here for 8 months? What have I been doing for 8 months? I have been laying out an opportunity in front of you with the promise that if you do this, you will get this. That if you do this, you will go from here to here with the promise, with an absolute guarantee. Now, I believe it. As you watch them struggle, you quietly prayed for them. Now, I want you to think God is doing this for you as he's watching you, me. As you watch them struggle, you quietly prayed for them, hoping beyond hope for their success without interfering. We have free will. I wish you didn't, because I would succeed for you if you didn't. I really do. And I know that's kind of, I'm saying that to be a little bit sarcastic and funny, but it's not. I wish you didn't, because I would succeed for you. You quietly prayed for them, hoping beyond hope for their success. Without interfering, you closed your eyes, tensing, using every fiber in your being in an attempt to will them onward and upward. And then, after hanging in there for a while and accomplishing a certain amount, these people you loved, perhaps even your own child, just stopped trying. They didn't actually quit. They just hit a certain mark, maintained their position, and happily accepted whatever rewards were available for that level of effort. For a parent, it is anguish to know a child could have had more, could have become more, could have gone further and higher if he or she had only looked up, had only kept going, had only believed what you said was possible. Tragically, you realize that you wanted the greater outcome, the best, in all caps, for your child more than your child actually wanted it for him or herself. Greatness is never a product of frailty. Physical and emotional and a spiritual muscle is only developed through struggle. And with that muscle comes increased ability and newfound strength. Capacity, competence, and wisdom grow as they are exercised against the resistance of things considered impossible. Now, there's two very important words that I haven't shared with you yet, and I'm going to read this to you again, and I'm going to share those words. Capacity, competence, and wisdom grow as they are exercised against the resistance of things considered impossible for now.
Can you repeat this, please? Capacity?
Capacity, competence, and wisdom grow as they are exercised against the resistance of things considered impossible for now. Guys, so my degree is in exercise physiology and kinesiology, and I wanted to share something with you from what I learned in college many years ago. When you are lifting weights, what you are actually doing is tearing muscle. You are actually creating tears in your muscle fibers. And when it heals, it grows back stronger than it was before you tore the muscle. We have breakdowns before we have breakthroughs. Capacity, competence, and wisdom grow as they are exercised against the resistance of things considered impossible for now. That means whenever we are in pursuit of a goal that is impossible, we are fighting against a resistance that is causing breakdown after breakdown after breakdown that I promise, if you don't stop, if you don't settle, if you don't quit, you'll grow and you'll get a little bit better. And then the next day you'll grow and get a little bit better. And the outcome is you will live the best life. That life that you envisioned when you took the first 4 words of the question out of the question. In other words, if you could imagine, was changed to you can. And if it were possible, was changed to it's possible. Now, what does that best life look like? The muscle developed during difficult times are what will eventually turn impossibilities into achievable opportunities for the future. The muscles developed during difficult times are what will eventually turn impossibilities into achievable opportunities for the future. The bottom of the pool is this. You and I should spend less time setting goals to satisfy the expectations of other people and use more time to concentrate fully upon legitimately increasing the level of what we really and truly believe is possible. This can only be done, it will only ever be done by aligning ourselves on a course to pursue the life that God Himself has identified for us as the very best. So I'm curious. Aren't you?
Yeah.
What might He have in mind?
Everything that's positive, nothing that's negative.
Yeah. I know the plans that I have for you, plans to do you good, not to do you harm. What are we capable of?
Everything. John.
Everything.
Everything.
Everything is
Every-
possible. Everything.
Everything. The greatest tragedy in life is not that we fail. We fail every day. Big deal. The greatest tragedy in life is that we almost succeed and there we are. We're this close and we give up. We settle. If somebody asked me, John, what's your biggest challenge? That would be my answer. People settle. Now I asked you to think like a team leader for a moment. Now I'll share with you a little bit about what it's like to be a team leader. When you get that call that says, I've decided to make a move and I'm moving to blank because this is all I can do. And if this is all I can do, then I'm going to go to blank where I get to blank. Just imagine. And every single time I have a conversation with one of those people, guys, every single time I ask them, if you had 10 deals pending right now, would we be having this conversation? If you were taking 2-3 listings every single month, would we be having this conversation right now? If you closed 5 deals last month, would we be having this conversation right now? If you were Bill and you put 5 properties under contract in the past weekend, would we be having this conversation right now? No, we wouldn't. So for 8 months, I have been laying out a path in front of you with a promise that if you'll make 20 contacts a day, if you'll talk to 20 people a day, care calls, not sale calls, building relationships, focused on leading with gratitude and bringing contribution to every single conversation. Truly believing that the best is in store for you, so therefore you are free from desperation of needing the deal. Therefore, you can have a care conversation because you don't need the deal. You truly are leading with gratitude and bringing contribution to the conversation. If you have a real estate conversation with 20 people a day that includes the opportunity to get an appointment with someone who's thinking of buying or selling a home, this is the plan that I've laid out in front of you for 8 months. That if you'll have a real estate conversation with 20 people a day that includes the possibility of getting an appointment with someone who's thinking of buying or selling a home, adding at least one new person to your database every day, therefore growing a database that will generate repeat and referral business for you for a lifetime, and earning referrals from those people that you're speaking with. That if you would do that, if you would get face-to-face with one person every single day who's thinking of buying or selling a home, that you would come from contribution, not needing the deal, but truly caring about the person that you're speaking to, knowing that it doesn't matter if they're going to buy a home or sell a home in the next 30 days, 6 months, or a year from now, because you live in abundance and you have plenty of opportunity right now, so you don't need that deal. However, you're planting seeds for the future, and because you're planting seeds for the future, you're always reaping crops in the future. And then because you have faith and you believe that you are on a journey with a destination is assured, you have a decided heart, and you will not accept no. No is not a word that lives in your vocabulary. No simply means not yet, because you reject rejection. You follow up forever with everyone who you're meeting with. You've had 250 face-to-face conversations because you're meeting with one person every day who's thinking of buying or selling a home, and you're following up with 250 people forever, no matter what they say, no matter what they do, because you reject rejection. You are building a database that delivers repeat and referral business to you for a lifetime. You are building a tribe of raving fans who absolutely love you because you provide the absolute best service possible in the real estate business, and you're getting referrals every single day. And you are living an incredible life because that's the life that God has in store for you. And because you believe it, you'll never give up, you'll never settle, and you'll never stop. What would that look like?
A very successful person.
And whose life could you change because you became that person? Now, imagine a company of individuals who all think like this, who come from abundance, creating success in others, who create success in others, who create success in others, who create success in others. You are building a company that has never existed in our industry. And it's possible, guys. I absolutely believe it's possible. Matter of fact, I believe that when I got tapped on the shoulder in 2014 to become a team leader, when God said, this is the path that I want for you, this was the vision he had in mind. I won't, and I'm not going to give up on it. Are we there? No. We're Moses and the Israelites, and we're in the desert for 40 years, and we're looking for the promised land. We'll find it. Because we're on a journey with a destination that is assured. All right, talk to me. Tell me what you heard. What did you learn today?
Well, first of all,
Exceedingly abundantly above all things is possible.
Yes. Yes.
John,
Yes.
what I wrote is, since I can choose and I am a believer in God, someone just mentioned it, that's Ephesians 3:20, now unto him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us, which is faith that works within me. what Alex opened up with changed the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. So as our team leader, you have prepared us, but just like we know in real estate, you can't want it more than I want it. I can't want the buyers to buy more than they want to, or the sellers to sell. So we have to keep that in perspective. But if I just keep moving on, I'm going to then reach a buyer that appreciates and sees my value and sees the opportunity to buy. The same with the seller. And with you, the same as real estate agents. I thank you for the value you've instilled in me, and I'm going to build a successful real estate business because of your guidance, for certain. Thank you.
Love that. Love that. Thank you, Shirley. Powerful. Yeah, I agree, Melissa. So well put.
You know what I heard, John?
Yes, Sean, talk to me.
I heard that a lot of people fail from a lack of imaginative faith.
Mhm.
You know, that a lot of people can't imagine, you know, a world in which they're faithful to a set of steps, which are clearly the path to success. But just even so, they can't bring themselves to do it. They can't imagine a world where that's the truth.
Sean, you couldn't be more right. You couldn't. And we have to change that script. We have to change that script, that inner dialogue that is going on in ourself. You know, self-talk. The most important person who will talk to you today is you. What are you saying? What are you saying?
You know, it's funny, John, because when I was hearing you, just what you just said, when you started talking about this book, Little Things by Andy Andrews, and I'm just hearing it, and you mentioned faith and God, and that's a huge, you know, everybody has a different belief, and I respect everybody's individuality. At the same time, the first book that came to my mind was The Four Agreements, because a lot of this is mindset, and we have that self-talk. And in the Four Agreements, you know, be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, don't make assumptions, and always do your best. And many of that is the choices that we make, and it's that self-talk and the mindset that you have. And it is choices.
Love it. Love it. Actually, I want you to make one assumption. I do. Here's the assumption I want you to make. I want you to make the assumption that the world is conspiring to do you good. That every day when you wake up, the world is conspiring to do you good.
And as a person of faith, one of the comments, well, one of the statements is, we have not because we ask not. And if that's not the 20 contacts, so forth, I don't know what else to say.
I love that. See? God is a bold coach.
Great, that's awesome.
All right, guys, I love you. I am so grateful to be back, and so grateful for all of you who took time out of your day to spend time with me. Thank you for the pleasure of your time. I truly am grateful for you. It's time to get to work. I'm not going to take you through what is work again, because I already did it. Now just go get to work and make it a great day.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you. Thank you for this wonderful call this morning, and
We
I'm
miss
so glad
you.
that you're back.
It's my pleasure. My
Thank
pleasure.
you, John.
Good to see you again.
Right, John.
Thank you, guys.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.